And here he comes again. Thinking that I won't be filming when I'm walking across the street, but he's wrong. See, here he comes for a direct overhead. This is stalking. That same guy's circling around. Same guy's circling around. Your taxes for Los Angeles Police Department gang stalkers for revealing reptilian shapeshifters that control our society and our government. And all the people are asleep. But what happens is, if somebody wakes up like myself, they have a cycle. If they try to kill you and fail, which they did 3 times, and then that doesn't work. What they do is they apply psychological warfare, otherwise known as gang stalking or targeting.
And when I looked at the Stargate, when I saw it, I was in direct contact with it. I could see it right in front of me. I also saw a white Draco Reptilian with the Stargate, and behind him were soldiers in black uniforms, and there was no insignia, there was no names, nothing, and they was just there. I could not really picture the room itself. It looked pretty white in the background, but the Stargate was there, and it was standalone on a stand. It was not connected to anything. It was just a random piece of technology that was not being in use because they could not make it function.
Do you think when you had that vision, was that like current, or was that from the past, or is that in the future?
That was current.
Current.
Yes, it was live. Like I was seeing it.
You're seeing it live with the reptilian and the guys in the tactical suits. Okay.
That's correct.
What else can you tell me more about the layout there?
So I did mention that I was usually seeing events through someone else's eyes.
Right.
In this case, that was not the case. I was directly connecting to the Stargates as myself. Mm-hmm. So I was there. Like my soul energy, whatever you want to call it, my consciousness was there. And
bilocating.
Bilocating, yes. And the reptilian was looking straight at me.
Right.
I was just like literally facing him, like right opposite him. And I guess that's how, he saw me. And he looks, I wasn't directly actually facing him, just maybe slightly on his right. So while he was looking straight at the time, then he moved his head slightly towards me to look at me. That's when I knew it was a direct eye contact.
And that made you feel really uncomfortable.
Oh, it scared me.
Yeah.
It scared me. And I felt threatened. And that's when I stopped the communication. And that was the first time ever that it happened to me. Like this was new to me. Mm-hmm. So that day, I basically just went to bed, and then I woke up in the middle of the night, and I had a nosebleed, and had a pounding headache, and I knew that my whole body was vibrating, and not in a good way. Like I was not feeling good.
He was attacking you.
He was attacking me, and I was not feeling good.
Psionics.
Yeah.
Here's what happened to your body when you have too much sugar. Sugar in the eye is glaucoma. Sugar in the brain is dementia and Alzheimer's. Sugar in the liver is fatty liver disease. Sugar in the skin is skin tags. Sugar in the kidney is chronic kidney disease. Sugar in the pancreas is pancreatitis. Sugar in the blood vessel is atherosclerosis. And sugar in the blood is type 2 diabetes.
So it turns out that YouTube is suppressing this show. On one level, that's not surprising, that's what they do. But on another level, it's shocking. With everything that's going on in the world right now, all the change taking place in our economy and our politics, with the wars we're on the cusp of fighting right now, Google has decided you should have less information rather than more. And that is totally wrong. It's immoral.
So I was going to get to an updated report on the reptilian stranglehold on society, and I noticed that when I started on that, the buzzing suddenly picked up. It dropped off quite a bit. So yeah, they pay attention to all of their enemies. Let me tell you, they know when you're gonna do something that they don't like. And one of the things I was remarking on in the beginning of my writing about that for the report is that the Stockholm syndrome that David Icke talked about, with the people that actually they want to help and protect their enslavers, their slave masters, and how that's part of the the agony of the situation for those who wake up is that their own fellow man hates them for trying to help them to wake up, you know? And getting a buzz right now, here we go. And so it's an uphill fight all the way, in which also we learn the true person, the person with a true heart, is going to find themselves alone. But if you're weak-hearted, you won't. You'll still be loved by your family. See, there's a reason Jesus told us that unless you hate your father and mother as I do, you cannot be a disciple unto me. And if you do not love your father and mother as I do, you cannot be a disciple unto me. And that's very important that he said, unless you can't, because what he means is, of course, he means the first father and mother he's talking about is his earthly parents, and the second father and mother he's talking about is his heavenly parents. But the reptilian issue, the domination of our society by bipedal reptilians, which, by the way, unfortunately, you don't hear David Icke talk about as much, although recently I saw him on some kind of show this one guy does. It gets a fair amount of traffic, but he was doing like an interview with him. I think it was about 20 minutes, and but it was okay, but he didn't get too much into it. What I want to get into with this report on the stranglehold of the serpent, I want to get into some of the details that I haven't gotten into before about, you know, the way that they control things like all electronics, to where they can influence these companies to the point that that they can force them all, and maybe they don't even have any idea that this is going on, but they can force them all to remove the date marker, just so that things like getting proof about when you see a UFO is harder to get. It's harder to prove. You notice how I have to paste that little thing down below saying the modified date, and even that, you know, in a court of law, they might say that I'm a graphic artist and I faked it, just to get more views. And which, by the way, just so you know, I never faked a single one of those helicopter buzzes. Neither did I ever look for it. Neither did I ever go to a place where I knew that there was a lot of them. And not only that, but if I'm not sure if it's a buzz, okay, this incredible phenomena of gang stalking, air stalking that I got, which is actually really not that bad compared to what a lot of people get, folks. A lot of people, they get the burning, man. I've gotten some directed energy weapons that make me sick, that give me like a nausea feeling, and definitely get that sometimes. They do that to me. But my poor Anna got burning so bad that she finally decided to go to this Russian retreat up in Siberia that has a thing where you detox, you know, because she felt that there was some sort of may have released chemicals into her body or something like that. But she really felt that like going to like a really heavy regiment of detoxing was the way to go, and so she did that. And I knew her while she was doing that. She said that the thing is so intense that a lot of people drop out of it when they get into it, because it's just so harsh. And come to think of it, that's really the first mission that I got that was, or at least that's my feeling about it, because there was no specific message about it. It could have just been that as I started to look for dark truth, that I just happened to come upon the reptilian conspiracy along with other conspiracies, and that's what really struck me as being like the big missing piece to the puzzle behind all of this. Because you're wondering, why would we do 9/11 to ourselves? Are people really that evil? Yeah, but it's like the question that I raise with chemtrails is that why would they do this to their own children when we know that they're spraying aluminum which is toxic to everything. It gets into the soil, it's ruining our crops, that's why the bees are disappearing. It's this continual stream of poisoning that doesn't make sense from a human perspective, because women who knew about it wouldn't want their children to possibly be subject to it, and if they found out that their husbands were doing this, there would be an uproar. Now, I'm not saying that's impossible. I mean, surely, given everything that they do, and all what's going on, it's just incredible that they can keep secret. You're finding out, because that's what I used to think. That was my excuse about 9/11. What I said to myself was, no, there's no way they could hide it. Somebody would see, somebody would know. But no, they did, and they got away with it, and they even used 3D special effects to fake the whole thing, and everybody fell for it. If you talk to the average person on the street and you try to tell them that 9/11 was not done by Arabs at all, it was our own country, and apparently some cooperation with the Israeli Defense Force, Mossad, they will just look at you like you are crazy. I've talked with some people that have believed the most crazy ass stuff, but then I said about 9/11, and they just basically like, excuse me, sir, I just realized that you're a nut, and I don't want to talk with you anymore. And so that's what we're dealing with. And then, of course, the reptilian thing is even a whole level of belief beyond the 9/11 conspiracy. So who can possibly withstand it? Maybe it was given to me to do this, to be one of the people that are pushing the envelope. Okay, David Icke was clearly someone given to talk about this topic. I mean, he got a visitation from some kind of being. I don't know, maybe it was an angel, maybe it was some other kind of being, but they wanted him to bring this up. They wanted him to talk about this, and he is, in my opinion, the single most effective person. There's others. There's Parks, Simon Parks. There was Peggy Kane, although I don't know if she's still in business or not. We haven't heard from her in a long time. And I kind of, either she ducked out, or they might have taken her out, or maybe she had a health issue or something, but you don't hear anything about her anymore. But she gave a fantastic, her reverse speech of demons from the demonic realm was a groundbreaking piece of information that you all gotta take seriously if you want to understand what's actually happening here. The question I've always asked myself is, why aren't more people interested in this who are interested in the truth? The only answer was, there's of course there's several answers, because that's, otherwise it would be an easy question to answer, but I think the real, probably the underlying thing, besides the inner desire to help their captors because they love their reptilian lords, deep down inside they have Satan dwelling in them, who is the ultimate reptilian lord, and they want to help and protect him. You see, they love him. Don't underestimate how all the people who live and work in this kingdom love their lord Satan. Okay, that's what's happening. And so, and of course, this is a severe vulnerability for their slaves to find out what they really look like. So people are afraid to mention this topic because they don't want to look ridiculous. Is the other main thing. I mean, you know, what it is this is where the key scripture comes in. He who seeks to save his life shall lose it, and he who seeks to lose his life shall save it. And so that's where it gets to the willingness to say or do anything that is actually the real foundational truth, which is that we're all slaves to bipedal reptilians that actually eat us. What I was going to mention was a dream that I had, that the dream ended up where I was seeing people rolled up into white plastic bags, like trash bags, okay? They were being rolled up, and I saw them on a wheel of some kind, like being pulled on a wheel, of carcasses of humans in these white body bags, apparently, like white bags that they use. And as the dream ended, I heard a demonic voice saying to me, "I see what you're doing." Yeah, I don't know what that means, but he said, "I see what you're doing." And it was a real kind of weird, creepy voice that I heard in the dream realm, in the spirit. At least that was my interpretation. Of course, it could just be my imagination, you know. I don't want to make, you know, too big a thing out of where I can't, you know, really have a solid grip, because we know, at least my opinion is, we do just dream about random things, just random stuff in our mind. And it's not necessarily a message, it's not it could just be my own thoughts culminating in that. But this one was kind of very specific, and really did sound like it was something that like they wanted to tell me something there. What's hard to talk about in all this is the element that's most important to keep in mind, which is what it's all for. Why you have a situation where food and slaves and torture victims of demonic beings, whatever you want to call them. Reptilians, not just reptilians, you know, that's kind of like one of the main ones, but because also they inhabit our dimension, and that's another aspect that really adds confusion to it, because I discovered that what we're seeing for the most part in video is demonic distortion, which I think is the camera is somehow seeing, it somehow translates a truth, but it's not actually a shapeshifter, because I don't think that they really shapeshift in a moment by moment, but maybe they do. I like to continue to say that there's less that I know about it than what I know about it. And I know more than most people, having also seen the demonic distortion and realized that it's not a physical phenomenon, because that same row of 8 horns on the forehead that I most famously got on Harrison Ford, I got them on myself to a smaller degree, but definitely I saw them. And so it means probably that a similar demonic type reptilian being attached to me and is influencing my personality results in the camera somehow seeing these features come out on me, because it's part of who I am. And that's another thing that's very, very hard to accept, especially for Christians who believe that they have the Holy Spirit and then to know Jesus Christ is Lord. They don't read what Paul said in Romans 7:18, that he himself, obviously having the Holy Spirit to know Jesus Christ is Lord, said that he had no good thing dwelling in him. Very hard to accept.